Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing. I'm your host, Edward Brown. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Use that number to answer the trivia questions for a 5-pack tanning certificate given away during this show. And that certificate's not sponsored by the radio station, but by Tan Bella Tanning Salon with 2 locations in San Francisco and 1 in Marin. Today's trivia theme is the 1930s. Today's guests, we actually have 2 of them, Mark Mars and Adam Smith from Niche Website Builders. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Great. Thanks, Edward. How are you?
Hey. Very good. And we do detect a little bit of an accent. So you guys are, as they say, across the pond, aren't you?
Very much so.
Yeah. So Adam, you were mentioning before we started that you're in South Wales?
Yeah, South Wales, just outside the capital, Cardiff.
All right. And Mark, where are you from?
So I'm on the south coast in England. So yeah, both in the UK, but
beautiful.
Parts.
Love it. Love it. We actually came back, a couple of years ago on a cruise and just met some just fantastic people from England. It was just, we all got along so well. It's just fantastic. So now you guys, tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you got started, and then I've got a bunch of good questions for you here.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Mark?
Sure, Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, so how we got started. So Adam and I met through the fact that I heard him on a podcast. So we were both into website investing. We're both building and growing our own portfolio of websites. I heard Adam on a podcast, and a lot of the stuff that he was talking about really resonated with me. So then, I literally messaged him on Facebook Messenger one day, and then the next day we were on the phone, and then a week later I was in Wales and we were chatting, and a month later we started the business. So
you know, it's interesting. That's actually how I get kind of close to how I got started in radio. I was a guest on someone's show, and then he asked me, because we got along well and the show went well, and he asked me to be his co-host. And then after that show ended, I decided to start my own, and that was 2010. So yeah, I've been doing for quite a while here. So now, what is your main profession? What does Niche Website Builders do? Do you build websites? I mean, kind of sounds like it from the title.
That's one thing that we don't do, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of do, and we kind of don't. So we don't build bespoke websites for businesses or anything like that. So the space that we work in is we work with individuals. So we at the very highest level, we help people monetize blogs. So that's anyone from somebody who is working a full-time job and they've got a blog on the side and they want help to make money with that blog and help monetizing it, right up to people who are investors who have no interest in how a blog works, how search engine optimization works, how building a website works, but they're interested in a return on investment and working with website investing as an alternative investment opportunity. So, so we do build sites, but they're not. They're very much a templated way of building a blog that we know works. We structure them all the same way, and it's very templated. But we know that it's effective and effective as a blog and works well.
Now, interesting. So I was going to say, I'm kind of curious. Okay, we're recording this show on Thursday, 2 days before the show is going to air, and it's 3 p.m. my time. What time is it now in England? You're like 9 hours ahead, aren't you?
Yeah, it's 11 p.m.
It's 11 p.m. Well, I appreciate you guys staying up for this. Okay, we got a couple of quick minutes here before we cut to a break. So what is website investing, and how does it differ from traditional investments? And we may have to continue this question in the next segment, but go ahead. Adam, why don't you answer that question? So what is website investing, and how does it differ from traditional investments?
Sure. So website investing basically is the process of buying or building these types of blog websites and monetizing them. And then really there's 2 ways of, I guess, realizing the value of these websites for investment purposes. So the first one is to keep the website for cash flow purposes. these are very much cash flow positive types of businesses. What I mean by that is they'll typically be monetized with adverts. And you don't need to go out and find your own kind of advertisers, and you don't have to pick up the phone and call, people to say, will you advertise my website? There's networks out there which you can sign up to. They give you a piece of code you put on the website, you pop that on the website, and they kind of fill the website with related ads for you, and then they pay you a fee at the end of every month, so you can keep the website.
Okay, stay with us, because we're going to get more into that. It's very, very interesting. Okay, we're going to cut to our first commercial break, and then we're talking the 1930s, see how much you know about the 1930s. And this actually is mostly about the United States, so we'll see how much you guys know about it, but don't answer if you know the question, right? Not yet. Okay, this female aviator disappeared in 1937. Who was she? All right, that's our trivia question. Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins a tanning certificate, which is worth $100. Stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my special guest, Mark Mars and Adam Smith. Love those guys' names. That's great. Great names to combine yourself with, Okay, our first trivia question. This female aviator disappeared in 1937. Who was she? Now you can go ahead and answer if you know.
I have no idea.
No? Again, if you're from the United States,
Not me.
Amelia Earhart.
Okay.
Earhart, yeah. Okay, I think you'll probably at least get one of these questions right, but that's okay. Listen, you guys are from across the pond, so I don't expect you to answer these. Okay. All right, so we're talking about monetizing from a website and blogs, and I am kind of curious, how does this actually work? So someone has a website, and how do they monetize it? Go ahead.
Sure. So you can sign up to these ad networks. They give you a piece of code. They fill the website with kind of related adverts that would be related to your your audience would find interesting. And then at the end of every month, depending on how many visitors come to the website, they give you a fee. And it's typically anywhere between $15 and $35, $40 per 1,000 visitors. So the aim of the game is to get as many visitors to the website as you can. And typically the method that we do that is search engine optimization. So we will look at what are the pieces of content that we can create that people are searching for, that are low enough competition we think we can compete with and get to the top of Google, but have enough people searching for every month to make it worthwhile to create that content. And that's where the return comes in.
So do you guys also work with like YouTube as well? Or is it primarily just the websites?
It's primarily just the website, and primarily it's just traffic from Google, from search engines. You can either keep the website for cash flow purposes. Every month you get paid like that, or you can keep it for cash flow purposes, and then it's a very liquid market to actually sell these websites or buy these websites. There's a ton of marketplaces out there. There's, we're launching one in a week or two, which is exciting news, where literally for these websites sell for anywhere between kind of 35 and 45 times their monthly revenue. So you get a blog making $1,000 a month. It's worth $35,000 to $45,000, and it's a very liquid market. You combine.
Well, I have 6 people come to my website every month. What does that get me? Yeah. I have 3 followers on YouTube. That's good, huh? But actually, it's funny. I actually know someone who paid lots and lots and lots of money for a website just so they for the domain name.
Oh yeah, the domain names can be can be really expensive too.
It was very fascinating. So now you guys use search engine optimizations and all that, and then do you guys get a cut of everything, or do you just charge a flat fee for? How do you guys work?
Just a flat fee, which is great for investors, because the thing with search engine optimization as well, it's not an overnight thing. It typically takes 12 months plus for you to see traffic and people coming to the website and to see some kind of return. So you pay the kind of fee up front, and then it's you have to keep working at it for a period of time. It's not a invest in today and you're going to see a return tomorrow. But as a business model, we just charge a fee for the services. It's almost like a professional service business. We handle the keyword research and the content and the website, and for a fee, and everything else is yours essentially.
So one of the other questions you wanted me to ask you here is about website investing, considered a growing alternative investment option for high net worth individuals. So a high net worth individual would somehow invest in this website, to this idea. How does that work?
Sure. Do you want to go for this remark, or do you want me to carry on?
Go ahead, Mark.
So it's a little bit different. So it's not like an investment fund or anything like that. So what they're invested in is that the asset becomes theirs at the end of the day. So we are helping them. We've got experience in building our own sites. We've bought and sold many over time, and so through that experience, we will help them build an asset, a property that makes them money on a regular basis that they can sell down the road. So the way that the investment comes in is that they've got the money, they'll bring it, we'll help them build, think of it like a house, like a physical property, right? So we're helping them build a house that they're going to get rental income effectively from on an ongoing basis. And then they can kind of sell, and we can help them kind of grow that and build extensions, if you want to extend that analogy a little bit further.
What's the minimum investment that you see from people who are interested in investing in something like this?
Yeah, so it varies. So we've, we have, for the high net worth individuals, we have specific growth packages. And Adam will have to remind me at kind of what level they start at, because it's completely escaped me. Adam works more closely.
Yeah, Adam, go ahead. So, I mean, is it 50,000, 10,000, 100,000? What generally?
They start around the $50,000 mark, and it's structured where 50% of that is due up front, and then 50% is then spread over the next 12 months, and they go all the way up then to around the $280,000 mark.
Okay, and so someone is interested. They invest 50,000. So basically, they put up 25,000. Of course, we're talking dollars, not pounds, because we're talking the United States here. Okay, so they put up 25,000, and they pay the rest of the 25,000 over time. When do they start seeing a return? And roughly, I mean, I know you can't guarantee anything. We're just sort of generalizing here.
Sure. So the way that we structure it to kind of look at returns is it's very much on the pessimistic side. The thing with website investing, some sites perform better than others, and some sites perform worse than others. So the way that we, I guess, plot out the way that growth works is in the first 12 months, we assume there's no return on revenue.
Okay.
In month 2, we assume there's a certain amount of return on revenue. And then in year 3, there's almost like you're at full kind of speed. But over a 3-year period, essentially on the kind of $50,000 investment mark, you'd be looking, or we'd be benchmarking to see over a 3-year period, roughly an 83% return on average. That's kind of what we would see.
I didn't hear the return. I'm sorry.
83%.
Oh, 83%. Wow. Okay.
So it's very much a higher return than traditional, which is why it's becoming more popular as an alternative asset class, essentially.
Gotcha. Okay, guys, believe it or not, we're going to cut to our next commercial break here. Very interesting stuff. Our trivia question is, in 1931, Al Capone, the mobster, was sentenced to 11 years in jail for which crime? I should say prison rather than jail. For which crime? Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins that tanning certificate. Also, want to make a mention here for petty theft at the Mystic Theater in Vacaville, April 22nd. And then also check out Stung Tribute Band, which is a band for the group, The Police. Check them out at stunglive.com. All right, stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing. Don't touch that dial. We're going to be right back. Welcome back to The Best of Investing one more time. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my special guests, Adam Smith and Mark Mars from across the pond. All right, our second trivia question was, in 1931, Al Capone, the mobster, was sentenced to 11 years in prison for which crime?
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion. That is correct. Very good. All right, you guys, you're batting 500 as a team. I like that. So let's see here. What else we got here? Okay, explain the growing popularity of these website investing and how it's become a popular and alternative investment option. Because it's interesting. I mean, I'm in the alternative investment space because I'm doing a lot of mortgage debt funds and anything other than cash and stocks and bonds, and mutual funds is considered alternative. I mean, even gold and silver is alternative, but this is really alternative because you're investing in other people's websites, right?
Yes.
Wow. I mean,
Well, it's a website. It's a website that
Well-
you own yourself, so it's your own website you're investing. We're just helping you build it, and it's yours though. We don't own it. It's owned by the
okay, but the thing is though, other investors can invest in that.
No, it's yours. You're the sole
Oh,
investor.
it's just strictly you. Oh, gotcha. Okay, but the thing is, advertisers or other. I mean, where does the revenue get generated from?
Sure, from advertisers or from affiliate partners. Okay. So, for example, you've ever Googled, the best trainers to run a marathon in, and you get those results on Google, the top 10 results. Yeah. You go to that website and then you click a link and you maybe go through to Amazon and buy a pair of trainers as a result. That website gets an affiliate commission, gets a kickback. So we create that kind of content, and we create other informational kind of content for where advertisers would pay to put adverts on.
So how do the advertisers actually pay? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a lot more simple than you'd think. You don't have to go out and find advertisers. Essentially, there's ad networks. An example would
gotcha. Okay.
Zoic or Mediavine. You sign up, you tell them what your website is. They give you a little piece of code you put on your website, and then they populate and they find the advertisers and they populate your website. And essentially, at the end of every month, they just send you a check or they send you a wire transfer.
Gotcha. And if I own the website, can I turn down an advertiser? Let's say if it disagrees with my, religious or political view, just throwing it out there. How does that work? You say, well, wait a minute, because here's the reason I'm mentioning this, which is kind of interesting. So the way like my show works is I throw on some commercials, but what ends up happening is the station basically, I'll say, steals some of the commercial airtime and throws other commercials that have nothing to do with me and I don't even know about it onto my show. But they'll also take commercials that I send them and go on other people's shows. Because I remember when this first started back in 2010, I decided, well, I want to hear my show and see, how it goes, right? And I start hearing these commercials. I said, what? I go, where are these people coming from? And it's just, that's just the nature of the beast. So, but in this case, you actually do have the right to dissuade somebody from advertising. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much every ad network has that built in. You can go in and block advertisers, and in all honesty, they're pretty stringent with the quality. Like most of the adverts come from Google themselves anyway, and if you've ever advertised on Google as an advertiser, they've got a really strict kind of guideline policy anyway. So you don't typically tend rubbish adverts anyway. They're usually mainstream adverts.
Well, it's funny. I remember years ago, someone got in touch with me who wanted to advertise some like really kinky sexual type stuff. I said, yeah, I don't think that's appropriate for my audience, yeah, all right. Okay.
I mean, the other thing worth mentioning is that they're personalized ads. So, you might see an ad, but that's probably based on your preferences rather than just everybody seeing that ad. So whenever you search for something and then an ad follows you around or a product follows you around, it's kind of like more of that kind of thing.
But it's different when you're listening to a radio show, because then it's just everybody's hearing the same thing. But I get it, because I sometimes I'll go on to, like a lot of times I'll use AOL, whatever, or Google, whatever. And these things pop up. I said, wait a minute, what a coincidence. I just happen to be looking for, like little fireplace things or whatever. How did they know that? It's a little scary, actually. Actually, can you discuss, we have a few minutes here, discuss how the artificial intelligence, because lately that's been in the news quite a bit, and getting a little scary too.
Yeah, I think AI is, I mean, it's disrupted most industries, I think, and it will continue to do so. We adopt versions of AI within our workflow for different processes and stuff. But essentially, I think, my key takeaway on AI is those that adopt it and use it as an assistant, like sooner rather than later, are going to be the winners versus people that just think it's a fad. It's not going away, I don't think. So yeah, it's an interesting area.
Wow. Okay. And then again, how does niche website builders help other affiliates and content marketers grow their sites?
Yeah, I mean, with the full, I guess, offer end-to-end service. So as an affiliate marketer or a content website owner, you can come to us and we provide the full outsource service. So rather than trying to grow your website yourself or understand what search engine optimization is or how you should structure your website and content, you can basically come to a company of experts that have been doing this for years and say, hey, here's my website. I want to grow it. I don't know what to do. Help. And we'll do everything from evaluate the site to what content should we be writing. We've got a team of writers. We write about 4.5 million words of content every month. We'll basically do everything that you need to grow your website.
Gotcha. Okay, guys, we're getting to another commercial break. Like I said, we're having fun. Goes fast.
Yep.
All right. In 1937, this dirigible exploded in New Jersey. What was the name of this dirigible? All right. You guys know what a dirigible is, right? Oh,
Nope.
it's like a big blimp. You know, it's very similar to the Goodyear blimp. Okay. Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins that tanning certificate. I almost said tax evasion. Stay with us. The Best of Investing. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Edward Brown here, along with Adam Smith and Mark Morris. Adam Smith, the famous economist, right? It's going back a few centuries, but that's okay. Okay, here is our third trivia question. In 1937, this dirigible or blimp exploded in New Jersey. What was the name of this blimp? Anyone? It came from Germany.
I don't know.
The Hindenburg. The Hindenburg, yes. Well, at least it had a German name. I think it came from Germany. Yeah, that was just before Hitler invaded Poland a couple of years before. Wow, it's kind of scary. So, guys, are there any statistics or study that show the average rate of return on an investment? Now, I know you said you can get like potentially like 83% over a 3-year period. Is that the average?
No, not really. So we have done a very in-depth data-backed study on this. We looked at 5,000 websites that are affiliate content websites. We looked at what makes them successful, how many pieces of content they have, what their kind of link back profile looks like. And from there, we determined how much it would have cost them to get to that point. And then we estimate how much traffic they get and what their monthly revenue is. And on average, over a 3-year period for sites ranging between sites making anything from $1,000 a month all the way up to sites making $20,000 a month, over a 3-year period, the average return is much higher than 83%, which surprises a lot of people. And I say what I mean by that is that the return, it also includes an exit. So you sell the asset.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Sure.
the monthly revenue plus the exit at that 35, 40 times multiple. The actual average return over a 3-year period for those types of sites is about 215%. So it's much higher. And we clarified that or correlated that back to our own case studies and our own personal websites. And it's in that ballpark. It's the average. Some are higher and some are lower, but it's around that kind of 200% mark.
Wow. And then what do you believe sets niche website builders apart from other agencies in the market?
Oh, loads, I think. I mean, I could probably talk for hours on that, but I guess for me, and Mark might
we only have 6 hours left on this show, so go ahead.
For me, and Mark may have a different answer, but for me, it's the fact that we are both, as agency owners, we're also both portfolio owners ourselves. That's the way we started. We started with our own portfolios and we transitioned into an agency to help other people. To this day, we still both own our own portfolios of websites, and we both had, quite a bit of success selling 6-figure websites like this. Whereas a lot of other agencies, I mean, another agency in our space, I won't mention a name or anything, the owner was on a podcast last year basically saying, I tried to build my own websites and I couldn't make it work. So I started an agency. Like, that's so backwards. What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, there's an old saying, those who can't do, teach, and those who can't teach, coach. So yeah, that's that would not be a good resume to put together.
No.
I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I decided to do it for other people. Yeah. I like that. Now, what new services do you guys plan to develop in the future to become the go-to one-stop niche website and content publishers?
Go for it, Mark.
We've pretty much cover a lot of the stuff that you really need today. So we do content, we build backlinks, which is, get, using digital PR. So we'll get links for our customer sites from high authority sites on the internet. So maybe something like Forbes or CNN or MSN. So we'll essentially write stories that we send over to journalists, and the journalists pick up those stories, they'll write about it, place it on the site, and then hopefully send us a link back to our customer.
Don't forget the BBC.
Yep.
And the BBC, of course. Yeah, and we have got, so right now, like we cover a lot of that stuff. So we'll help people right from the inception, get started. We'll help them upload the content. It's all done for you. Like the one thing that's missing in that life cycle probably is that we'll help people build from scratch and grow sites. But right now we don't help them sell it. So as Adam alluded earlier, we're about to launch our website marketplace where buyers and sellers can come to meet to sell assets. So we'll do a certain amount of due diligence on those sites to make sure that nobody's going to get scammed, like what people are saying they're making from their sites. They are making from their sites, and that'll go on our marketplace, and then people can buy and sell them. And for that, we do take a percentage of the sales, like a broker fee, essentially, for doing that work and the due diligence there.
So, because I'm going to shift over to what we're doing at Pacific Private Money. So before we do, how do people get a hold of you if they like what they've been listening to on the radio here?
Yeah, so best place, well, the website is nichewebsite.builders or nichewebsite.builders. You can also find us on YouTube if you just search Niche Website Builders as well. And we have a podcast, so you go to any of your favorite podcast app and search Niche Website Builders and you'll find us there. We also have a couple of Facebook groups, one called Niche Website Builders and one called Niche Website Flippers.
Okay.
So
Niche, for those who want to know how to spell it. Niche, okay. And speaking of niches, we have a niche at Pacific Private Money. Mark and Nam aren't here, so I'll go ahead and give their pitch. So on our Southwest Fund, where we buy discounted mortgages, starting May 1st, we're increasing the distribution rate from 8% to 8.5%, paid on a monthly basis. So that's whatever 8.5 divided by 12 is. You get that on a monthly basis, and you can either compound the yield or take a monthly check. And because of the fact that we are buying these notes at even larger discounts, the loan to value is extremely conservative. We're buying some loans at like 25, 30% on the 25 to 30% of the fair market value. And so it's, when people look at it and say, how conservative an investment. I mean, I don't know how many real estate mortgage funds someone can invest in where the average loan to value in the fund is 45%, but the average investment to value, because we're buying it at discounts, is 30%. I mean, I just don't know any other ones out there that are that conservative. Now, here's the catch. You have to be an accredited investor. So for those people who don't know what that means, you have to have a net worth exclusive of your home of at least $1 million, or you make $200,000 a year if you're single, $300,000 if you're married. So all of our funds are like that. And all of our funds qualify for what they call QBID, stands for Qualified Business Income Deduction, a law that was passed a few years ago, where if you qualify, you get to not pay taxes on 100%, but only pay tax on 80%. All right, stay with us. The Best of Investing. We'll be back with some closing comments. Don't touch that dial.
Different.
Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my special guests, Adam Smith and Mark Mars. We didn't have a trivia question, but I wanted to ask you guys, tell us like a super success story of someone you helped out.
Yeah, no, I can handle this one because I'm really passionate about this story.
Yeah.
So we started working with an individual. It was their first time in investing in a digital property, and they actually come from a family office background. And we built the website. It took off extremely quick. It's probably it is our best case study. So the results are, our best kind of results. But within the first couple of months, it started to generate a couple of $1,000s a month from ad revenue. And instead of taking that money out, the investor decided to reinvest back into future growth. So within the first, 6 months, the website was kind of self-perpetuating. There was no new cash being put in. And the website continued to grow very, very quickly. And by month 12, month 13, the website was making $40,000 a month from display ads, which is
Wow. Can you share the name of the website or what kind of website? You know what?
not the name, but we can
was?
share
No,
that it was
that's
in the food space. So
The
it
food
was kind of like recipes and that kind of stuff.
Huh.
And so much so that this started off as a side project, and very quickly at that kind of level turned into let's turn this into a business. Let's build a team. How do we build products around this kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, at $40,000 a month, I mean, for that, if I had their money, I'd throw mine away. You know?
Well, to be honest, like I say, there was a lot of investment in terms of capital, but a lot of that was money reinvested. There was about $220,000 invested into the kind of site over that 12-month, but a lot of it was reinvested. But on that multiple, then that 35 to 45x, that website had a value of like 1.4 to 1.6 million dollars. So the $40,000 a month is impressive, but also you've got the asset value then. And that was back in 2021, and now it's a thriving, essentially food recipe business now with products and a community. And yeah, it was awesome to see it go from kind of nothing to that.
Yeah, sure. And then you can, when you have that kind of traction, you can build on it. Into other, like let's say if they're in the food products, there might be food, like utensils or food processes, or somebody wants to advertise like that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Well, you think
once you got traffic,
yeah, that kind of level, the site's getting about 3 million visits a month. So what can you do with 3 million food enthusiasts? The opportunities are endless, essentially, right?
Yeah. I mean, because we've looked at Pacific Private Money. We thought, oh, maybe we'll do something on TV or whatever. It's kind of interesting because we're kind of a little niche ourselves, because we're mortgage pool funds, which is different than stock fund or even owning real estate. We're basically I say they because we're kind of a team. Pacific Private Money basically is the bank. And so it's it's exactly like what a bank does. It makes a loan on a house. It's got a mortgage, it's protected, just like Wells Fargo makes a bank loan, except that from the investor standpoint, they're going to get paid anywhere from, depending on which fund they're in, anywhere from 7 to upwards of 10%. And in today's market, that's not so bad. Like right now in the UK, what are you guys paying on bank accounts?
Oh, it's sub 1% still. Mostly
still sub 1%. Wow. Okay, because they started to move up here in the United States, thanks to
Apple Apple is launching their savings account with 4.2% in the US.
Yeah, that's I know. I was going to say that some of the rates are going up there a little close to 4%, a little higher. All right, gentlemen. We're going to close it out here with our thoughts for the day. You're going to like these, all right? So my wife accused me of stealing her thesaurus. Not only was I shocked, I was appalled, aghast, and dismayed. And I knew you guys would appreciate that humor. And, I wouldn't worry about your TV or smartphone spying on you. It's the vacuum cleaner I would worry about because it's been gathering dirt on you for years. All right, tune in next week to The Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away more free prizes for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.